Hi, this is Blake Angelos from Yamaha Corporation America, here with the flagship of the new PSR S line, the S970. The S970 has been upgraded from the previous model in a whole plethora of different ways. The first and most recognizable way is the all-new 7-inch TFT LCD color display. It's very, very easy to see from multiple angles, and it's just a great new addition to the overall usability of the instrument. Also added is a full 512 megabytes of flash ROM memory for style and expansion packs. The great thing about this addition is that with the new Yamaha Expansion Manager software, you can combine voices and styles from multiple style packs, which you couldn't do before. Now you can totally customize this instrument for your musical needs. In addition to not only the S970, but the entire new PSR S line are the addition of the 2 live control knobs that you can assign to control both voices and styles, even the microphone input in real time. I'll show that later on in this video. Speaking of microphone input, there is a microphone input on the PSR S970 that you can utilize the vocal harmonizer and the newly added vocoder with the instrument as well. A great new feature is that vocoder. You can also plug in an instrument and run it through the all-new effects that are on board as well. Speaking of onboard effects, we have a great new addition to this instrument in the form of guitar effects. The guitar effects are not only amazing, they're also photorealistic graphics of each of these new guitar amp models, and I'll show those as well. With the previous model, we introduced the concept of audio styles. And with the PSR S970, we've increased that from 25 audio styles now with 40 audio styles. So what's an audio style? An audio style takes the originally rendered MIDI drum track and replaces that with a real drummer. It could be an acoustic drummer with all sorts of different miking variations, or it could be a whole host of electronic styles as well, where we sampled great electronic musical instruments from production studios from all over the world. It's a really great feature, and it adds a whole level of groove and playability to the entire style. And as with all of the instruments in the PSR S970, you can utilize the UDW-L01 wireless LAN adapter. This allows you to stream both audio and MIDI bidirectionally to and from an iOS device. Later on in this demonstration, I'll show you how cool that is with our free chord tracker software. Let's check out all of these new features. First up is the sound I always like to show first, the concert grand. Since Yamaha's been making acoustic grand pianos for well over 100 years, they bring that experience to bear on all of their electronic musical instruments. This is a great feeling, playing, and highly expressive grand piano sound. Another voice I'd like to show you is the Suitcase EP. This is a great sounding, great feeling electronic time piano voice, but it's even more amazing because it uses one of the new VCM effects that's been introduced to the PSR S970. What VCM stands for is virtual circuitry modeling, and it's Yamaha's proprietary technology that models classic effects, compressors, and guitar amplifiers. So check this out. When I press the voice and I select the effect type, it has a beautiful photorealistic graphic of the VCM compressor that I can interact with and change things like the attack, the input, the release time. Now I'm going to play this Suitcase EP with the VCM effect with one of the new audio styles as well. This is called Tango Flamenco, and again, an audio style replaces the traditionally rendered MIDI track with an audio track. You'll hear things like clapping that's very indicative of flamenco music, but you also hear voices and all sorts of things, and of course, the drum track as well. So check this out. At the beginning of the video, I talked about the VCM effects and the guitar effects as well. Well, I'll show you some of these new guitar effects now. So first, I'll play this sound that's called Vintage Amp, and there's absolutely no reverb and no effect applied to it. Check this out. Now that sounds pretty good, but now let's listen to what it sounds like through some of the all-new guitar effects. The first guitar effect is called US Combo. Now let's compare that with the one that has no effect. Now you can see that there's a photorealistic graphic of this amplifier that I can instantly interact with. So if I want to maybe change the boost from low to high gain, I get a lot more overdrive. Next up is the Real Jazz Combo guitar effect. And a Real US High Gain. There are other effects in here as well. There's the British lead, the multi-effector that allows you to have different types of effects simultaneously, like phaser, delay, comp sustain, wah. The Real Small Stereo Distortion, which is a model of a classic stereo distortion amp. And then the Real British Combo, which is yet another model. Very, very cool that we've added these effects. It really enhances the sound of the guitars. As with all of the PSR S models, there are new assignable live control knobs, and I can assign to various functions such as style control or voice control and change things in real time. I'll use this with one of the new audio styles, which is a percussive trance style. The audio drum track on the audio style of the percussive trance recorded a whole host of vintage gear such as synthesizers, drum machines in a very high-end studio, and it really brings up the authenticity of this track. In this audio drum track, you actually hear the drummer playing sticks against aluminum ladder and some other metal things, and it adds sort of this really cool sound to the percussive trance style. Further, I'm going to assign these knobs to control the track. I have knob 1 assigned to track mutes and knob 2 assigned to style, filter, cutoff, and resonance, so I can control the entire filter and cutoff of the style. Check this out. Now what I'd like to show you is one of the coolest things that I've seen in a long time. This is called Chord Tracker. Now what I've done is I've connected wirelessly directly to the PSR S970 to this iPad. So what I'm going to do is record a series of chords wirelessly, audio, via the UDW-L01 directly to this iPad into the Chord Tracker app. Then what Chord Tracker does is it takes that audio file, analyzes it, and will create a chart. Now, I could also go into my iTunes library and it can look at anything I have in my iTunes library and analyze that and create a chord chart as well. It's pretty amazing. Watch how this works. Now I'll stop recording. I save this. In fact, I'll save this as S-W-E-E-T, sweet. Save. It analyzes it, and look, there's my chord chart. Now I have my chord chart, and it's all cleaned up. I'll go here to this icon and say Send to Instrument. And it's called Sweet. That's what I named it. Send. And it says connected to computer or smart device. It sends the chord chart over to the instrument. Now I'll select this song, and I find in my user category, I have a song folder called Chord Tracker. I press Chord Tracker, and there it is, Sweet. It's right there. So now I have this chord chart now in my machine. The cool thing now is I can pick different styles, and it will play the audio chords that I played here, then analyzed with Chord Tracker, then sent it to the instrument. Now you'll hear these chords I played associated with any style I want to associate it with. So listen to this. I'm going to try those chords out with the modern pickin' style. It's a country style. So those are my chords with the modern pickin' style. How about we try it with a reggae style? How about we try it with maybe a 90s cool ballad style? Let's go over what I just did. I first played a series of chords and wirelessly connected to my iPad. I recorded the audio data. Then Chord Tracker looks at the audio data, analyzes it, gets the chords. Then I can send a chord chart from the iPad wirelessly back to the 970 into the song area. And those chords are in the song and they will trigger any of the styles. So you can try out a host of your chords of your music with a whole bunch of styles. It's absolutely amazing that this works as well as it does. Truly amazing. And don't forget, not only your music can be recorded, it will analyze anything in your iTunes library so you can learn a song or try out a song with any of the styles on board. It's just really cool. So that's a very brief tour of the PSR S970. This is an amazing machine and there's so much to show. And the amount of time that I have here is just impossible. But if you have any questions whatsoever about this instrument, don't hesitate to contact your Sweetwater sales engineer. Once again, this is Blake Angelos from Yamaha Corporation of America. Thanks for watching.